bright. Let me show you how to raise a bar, how to go large, how to take it too far. Let me show you how to show up and show out and surf the crowd. Trust me, you ain't never seen nothing like this. You ain't never been to a show like this. I'ma give you something to remember forever. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright.
I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, get my go. If I
Whatever we came to get, that's a little money and a trophy and nothing they call respect. We don't care who the best, we don't worry who was next. We gon' put them boys to rest like a type of feet of bed. I'm ahead of the rest like I came without a net. They gon' say it under breath, I'ma say it with my chest. I got it wrapped like a toga, put the whole team on my shoulders. Hold up, wake these boys up, call me soldier, flow feeling colder, some call it polar. You don't wanna box me, I'm feeling cocky, hair stocky, leave him floppy, face Nazi, talking all aki, think he big poppy, then I'll chop him down like a Karate. I see none of you here can stop me. It's obvious, you too sloppy, cheap copy. I'm Rocky, leave his eyes all glossy, but in the end zone is where you can spot when I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown.
Well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Darnold going to throw right away. And right away he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This take it in at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 50.
They're trying for Washington, but the pass intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now. Showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Back to throw, Purdy. And it's caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Purdy. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Elijah Mitchell, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Taking it about the 1. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Trey Flowers there on the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Draw play, ETN. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. The pass to Boyd, and he brings it in on the crossing route. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
To throw again on 2nd down. Purdy under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here, right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, it's Darnold. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both, because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Darnold on 1st down. This to Hines on the drop-off. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Darnold. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. There he goes, right side. 20, 10, 5, and it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And so far, in terms of putting points on the scoreboard, it's been defense 2, offense nothing. But they'll have a chance to put together a first scoring drive this go-around. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Darnold flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Darnold now to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he tracked...
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And now we'll see punter Tyler Newsome. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A big kick. 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Darnold. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Here's Tyler Newsome now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A good pickup there at 22. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Purdy looking to throw on 1st down here. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Purdy, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4, still 3 yards short. 4th down. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Hines now on the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Big Andrew Billings there on the stop. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now it's Darnold. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
On 2nd and 7, Purdy. Connecting here with Pittman on the out route. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Mitchell. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Elijah Mitchell as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs are able to add on to their first half lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, and not much time, we'll see how they play this. And some room to roam now. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of games. But sometimes you get it rocked a little bit, and this certainly applies here for them. But guess what? Just what you said. This touchdown can give them their belief back that they can win in the second half.
A final shot before the break. Darnold, and it's incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Second half begins with a carry by Mitchell. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Purdy now to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground. ETN. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Darnold. He'll check this down to Hines. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Here's Darnold. Finds Hines again for the completion. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And the Panthers have recovered.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep, and on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
A gain there of 21 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He'll find Jones again, complete. And some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 37 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
On first down, Purdy. That's to Mitchell out of the backfield. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards.
Yeah, big play there. When you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
And the Bucs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Let's go now.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Zay Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Buccaneers look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bucs are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 53 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On the counter, Mitchell. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
And he's going to have the Bucs 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
They're able to keep the drive alive 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Purdy to throw it on 1st down.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Back to throw, Purdy. Well, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. The 30. 10. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Panther touchdown. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And the lead is down to 20. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Here we go.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On third down, it's Purdy. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to have a Bucs first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. That one looks like he'll throw here. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Panthers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. What a performance. All those points put on the board. And Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win on both sides of the ball. Made big plays, but how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take one all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So for Tampa Bay, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Carolina, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town.